guy about an hour and a half south of here. He's in Delta, sort of north of Gananoque, and he's growing his own grains and hops. He's actually malting, which is sort of that extra step that nobody's been doing in Ottawa for about 90 years. So we incorporate a bunch of his stuff into some of our mainstay recipes, and we've done a couple now, a black wit beer and a few other really weird things that really just sort of showcase his product. We're going down for a farm day on Monday, the long weekend. We're just going to help him put up his hop vines and a bunch of other things.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, for us, that's kind of cool.
It's great that you get to learn all this and immerse yourself totally in Ottawa culture and all that. Now, one big thing in the news that I don't read a lot of this news and about the beer store and all this. First of all, because I would never go to the beer store, and because I love going to the breweries and talking to the owners. But does it sound good? Does it sound fair to the craft beer brewers?
So there's, I guess
what's happening?
What's happening?
What is going on here?
So, kind of a cool, a number of things are happening. If you like good craft beer, artisanally made here in Ontario,
you can't get it at the beer store.
There's some good news for you, because there's sort of two tracks happening. So the beer store, I think to their credit, sensed that there's sort of a groundswell. Like a lot of, it's not a marginal thing to drink craft beer anymore, and I think people are turned on to it of all ages. On our opening day, we had 90-year-olds taking selfies at our bar, so it is not who you think, only drinking craft beer.
Well, they probably remember when it was only craft beers, right?
You're right, exactly. So I think the beer store's kind of picking up on that. They floated a proposal a couple months ago to allow small craft brewers, people of our size, to be able to sort of skip the very big, prohibitively rich listing fee, get in at 5 stores. Craft brewers weren't really consulted. The Ontario Craft Brewers Association kind of balked at it, I think rightfully, because they weren't really consulted, and it really didn't solve the core problem that there's sort of this big ceiling on being able to grow as an Ontario craft brewery these days.
Well, am I wrong in, I don't know if it was a rumor I heard, that one of the major beer companies holds a major share in the beer store itself?
No, it's
Molson or Coors or something. One of those.
I think you're right. People are pretty conditioned here in Ontario to expect that they buy their liquor from the government. But the truth is, when you shop at the beer store, it's a government-sanctioned monopoly, but it's actually owned by a foreign brewer's monopoly. So there are 3 large breweries, none of whom are headquartered in Canada, that own that and control your beer supply if you shop at the beer store. So. Kind of a weird sort of feature of post-Prohibition Ontario. To the credit of the provincial government, I think people at Queen's Park have woken up and smelled the coffee as well, and they've put some kind of exciting proposals on the table in the last budget. It's going to mean that craft breweries can do some things that kind of always made sense anyway. Our friends at Beyond the Pale are moving and upsizing in a big way. They can tell you more about it than I can, but they were really faced with closing their awesome Hintonburg location to be able to move, because you're not allowed to have 2 locations unless you make an ungodly amount of beer. What? So that threshold's coming down, and some other changes that I think are going to potentially add up to more availability for beer drinkers in Ontario of better locally made craft beer. Grocery stores can start to apply for licenses. We don't know how it's all going to shake out, but there's movement, which there hasn't been in years. So I think it's going in the right direction.
Did any MPPs come to you to ask any questions or your feedback? Or because if you don't know Josh is very well versed with dealing with government and corporations. So.
I have a previous life in nerdy regulatory work, and I think to the credit of a couple local MPPs, Yasser Naqvi's got an open door. A lot of guys have gone and spoken to him, especially as the rush was on before the budget about getting changes in, and I know there's open ears from other folks in town too. But I think Queen's Park's listening, which is the cool thing. And I hope they're not done yet, because I think there's a lot more that beer drinkers expect, just common sense changes. You sort of wonder what some of these rules are meant to protect us from.
There's a lot of the why question,
my great-grandmother was a temperance society woman, so no doubt she's rolling over in her grave, but unfortunately a lot of our laws have kind of carried on from when she was lobbying the government, so it's ready to move on, I think.
And just finally, before we take off, any competitions that you're thinking of entering? Or I know there's tons for craft brewers, but are you looking at going to any?
Yeah, we've been so new, and
of breweries?
The Canadian Brewing Awards are coming up soon, so we submitted.
Canada here. That's the go-to, right?
That's right. Yeah, there are a few coming up. For us, we just felt like we've been so focused on just keeping up here that hasn't been a focus yet for us, but the nice thing is, I think the bottom line is there's like really great beer happening in Ottawa all around, and we like to think we're contributing to that, but it's just a great time to be a beer drinker.
Step in other people's games and you'll win it in the future.
There you go.
How many employees do you got now?
We're working at about 9 people,
Wow.
so yeah, I'm here full time, and we've got a couple others and a string of part timers. It's we joke we're proudly inefficient, which is true. I mean, it takes us a lot longer and a lot more hands to get done what the big guys do with machinery and robots, and
all in time.
That kind of works for us actually. It sort of just feels a little more straight up, and our customers
organic growth, right?
You got it.
Right. Any new restaurants that have recently picked up?
Kind of an exciting one for me. One of my favorite coffee shops in town, actually 2 of my favorite coffee shops in town are both going to be serving beer. So we've been teamed up with Bridgehead on a number of things. They provide the tea for our Earl Grey Marmalade Saison. They provided a really cool Ethiopian coffee bean. We did a blonde ale on coffee bean. So their little roastery on Preston's going to start serving beer not too long from now. And our friends at Ministry of Coffee have just opened up the Ministry of Coffee and Social Affairs in Hintonburg, and they're going to have a license too. So
that's awesome.
I'm pretty pumped about both of those spots.
That's great news. Well, thank you so much for having us here. It was an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, for sure.
And I look forward to Dominion Day. I'll probably show up to that for sure.
Yeah, we're excited. Thanks.
That's right downtown, so that's perfect.
Cheers.
All right, so next week we go to Stephen Beckta to see what Beckta is saying. Yeah.
The original master of delicious Ottawa food.
There we go.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm
And
excited
still
about that
going.
one.
Yeah.
I got to say, now we're talking beer, I'm excited to have another one of those deliriums. Have you tried a delirium before?
Absolutely. It was the
they're
world's
good
greatest
beers,
beer a couple years in a row. It's
Was it
delicious.
really?
Absolutely.
Right.
Where do they serve that?
At Beckta.
I didn't know that.
He actually recommended it to me himself while I was there.
I didn't know that.
And I had a cup and a cup.
All
And
right.
it was fantastic.
So events this weekend, check out Dominion City Brewing at, where at Hintonburg happening? Are you doing the...
There's a closing party Saturday, May 9th from 2 to 9, I believe. It's at Somerset Square. So we'll
Somerset
be pouring
Square,
sweet.
so Amanda Riom will be playing there, and it'll be a lot of fun.
Oh, there you go.
Bother Jeff Leeper there again. Tell him I sent you. I love seeing him every week.
that. Good guy.
He is a good guy. Events, RB goes Rogue tonight at Railbender, part of Hintonburg happening. I want to see that because I want to see what they do with the RBC character. Tonight is also the Parkdale Food Center Gala. So,
Oh, nice.
Parkdale Food Center, they just do amazing, groundbreaking things that I hope translate to other food centers or food banks in the city. That'll be interesting. It's Ottawa Comic Con, so Andrew will be there dressing up as his favorite Jedi warrior, as he always does. Which Jedi are you going to be this week? Does that even make sense?
I don't know.
What? You don't know Star Wars?
I don't know. Is
I'd
there
go
a
as like
different-
Boba Fett or something, but I don't think that's Comic Con. I think
No?
Star Wars characters are a whole nother. I've never been to a
So
Comic Con.
you'll dress up as like
can't really tell you.
Spider-Man
like
or something.
Superwoman.
That's what you can
Johnny
do.
Canuck, we can't go with something local
That
here?
would be
or-
good.
I think you'd make a very convincing Nelvana.
Why not make our own up? Yeah.
Well, Johnny Canuck can show up at Dominion Day. You got
Hip-hop karaoke.
Tulip Festival starting this weekend. Hip Hop Karaoke Friday night. The fundraiser for Nepal earthquake victims at City Hall Saturday. Danielle Allard, who has been a guest and a musician on our show,
Yep.
is releasing her new CD.
That's it, Chameleon?
Yep, Chameleon. And you have Art Battle 271. Anything else, Josh? Any other events that we should know about?
No, just get out in the sunshine, hit a patio,
Yeah.
have a beer.
Yeah, hopefully it's nice. Yeah.
Work on
Have a
that
beer.
burn.
Work on that stand. Anyways, one last song from Kaleigh Watts. This is Savior. Or Savor. Not Savior. Maybe she'll release a song in the future
Savor.
called that. From her Smoke Lake EP, of course, July 10th. Check her out. Have a great weekend, everyone. Happy birthday, Andrew.
Thank you. And happy Mother's Day to you all.
Yeah. Cheers. Bye.
Save her. Be the savior that takes her from the rupture she calls home. Be the water she survives on. Watch as she basks in her boat, keeps afloat by your salty ocean. And savor, savor that sultry shiver that formulates your reasons for intrigue, and savor that numbing flavor that your bones feel lying next to me. Be a sailor and sail her away from the pain that she frets and regrets in her heart. Play the part of a rhythm that she breathes, the inhale and the exhale of her tortured heartbeat, and savor that sultry shiver that formulates your reasons for intrigue, and savor that numbing flavor that your bones feel lying next to me, that your bones feel lying next to me, that my bones feel lying with the sea.